There we go. Okay, so we are recording. Thank you for hopping in tonight or whenever you watch this. Brooks Reed, Light Shine Online, and Rolling with Reeds, right? So this is super exciting to be able to walk through what yoga, Christian yoga looks like. And I want this to be a safe place for you to ask questions, for you to feel comfortable, and for you to feel familiar with either yoga props or options instead of a prop, what you can use. So just breaking it down and keeping it simple. This is, let me grab this. This is a yoga strap. So a yoga strap, as you can see, you could use a necktie. You can use a belt, anything that has length that will be exactly what we're going to use. So to give you an example, let me see. We'll lay down. So for example, if I'm going to say, place your strap on the ball of your foot, and we're going to use it, as you can see, it just helps me not have my arm, right, as long as it is, and I'm able to relax my shoulders down, my back. I'm able to not strain my belly, and I'm able just to relax. And this allows my hamstring. So this is hand to big toe pose, and it is assisted by a strap. So if I'm just say place your strap on the ball of your foot, then this shows you that it's going to work your hamstrings. You're going to stretch your hamstrings, but it allows you not to strain and reach when you probably could not reach in maybe the warm-up for yoga. And then we can also take it across midline. Woo, you will feel that stretch. But you see with the strap, what a nice asset it is to have in class. So this will be what a yoga strap, and just a couple of the uses of this prop. Now, another prop will be yoga block. So yoga blocks, as you can tell, super simple, super basic. But when I said you can get a really thick book, really thick books are great as well. But if you have something like this in your home, and you might, it's interesting what we have in our home, but these are great props. For example, you might want to, if we're doing a bound angle.
Yeah. You cannot let the cat. I mean,
Bound angle.
You cannot let the cat with you.
Can you guys hear? I think you can hear. So bound angle is where your feet are together. Blocks can go underneath your knees. It helps relieve pressure. If you're maybe feeling tension and you don't want to feel that tension, for some of you, you might not need the blocks, but for some of you, you might start to feel tension in your hips. This is going to be an assist. And all this is nothing about shame or I cannot do. What this is this allows you to bring the floor to you and to feel relief in a posture that over time, with more stretching, you're going to be able to maybe move those blocks out and just be right on the edge of your knee, and you'll feel relief there. And then when you gradually, continue to do that, you can then remove the blocks. So again, what I love about Christian yoga is that this is a space of grace. This is a space where your body is free to do what it needs to do. Now that's just one example. Another example is you might, if you need these blocks for anything, for example, and I'll do a standing posture here. So let's say that we're in triangle pose, okay? We're gonna work through what triangle pose is at another time. However, triangle pose, you're gonna have a block on the floor and your hand can go there. So all you're doing is bringing the floor to you. Now you might want to turn it on its side and have the floor here and your body here. So you see this is a nice triangle posture where you can see lines in the body and I'm not dumping, right? I'm not dumping in my triangle. So again, a yoga block is super helpful in helping the floor come to you so that you can stretch and deepen that posture. yoga block. Now, from there, we have a bolster. So that was the title of my post. What is a yoga bolster? Agreed. What is a yoga bolster? As you can see, it is a nice thick pillow, right? A nice thick pillow. You are allowing your body space. So for example, I'm gonna move these up here. Maybe you can see my body. So for example, child's pose. Child's pose is where, I'll show you this way, but I'll demonstrate it that way. Child's pose is where you're opening up your hips, you're opening up your knees, and you're resting your bottom to your heels. And then you're gonna slowly forward fold, walking your hands out and stretching. Let me show you sideways. So as you're on your mat, legs come out, mine come out wide to my mat, tailbone is sitting on my heels, and child's pose is when I walk myself forward as I hinge at my hips. And what I love using my bolster for is I'll slide this big thick pillow into place between my thighs, and I get to lay my chest on this bolster. And it's nice, it relaxes me. It doesn't cause me maybe any pain in my hips. You can also slide it forward if you'd like a place to rest your head. So you see this bolster is super comfy. Now, if I had a pillow that was thin, you can tell that's not gonna work. So couch pillows are amazing. If you don't have a yoga bolster, maybe you have a couch pillow that you're thinking, you know, the back of that couch, that looks like it'd be perfect. Another great thing for a yoga bolster is when you can sit it on your tailbone and slowly lay back and rest. And as you can see, it opens up your hips, opens up your chest, allows your shoulders to relax and rest. And it's a great heart opener posture. And so you're just in a nice place of peace and rest. You can be in reclined bound angle here if you wish. Your legs could be simply up if you wish. I personally like it when my legs are down. Also, you get to rest, you get to relax. That's a great posture. And those are just examples of a yoga bolster. Then we have the famous yoga blanket. Now, I love a great yoga blanket because when my body isn't warm and I start my practice, I like to cover with a blanket at times to help as I'm breathing when I'm resting in a relaxing posture when class begins, and just silence and meditation and stillness. This blanket allows heat to stay within my body to create warmth. So for an example, when I lay down completely flat on my mat, it's called Shavasana. If you've ever heard anyone say, get in Shavasana posture, well, Shavasana is also the term for, still resting, relaxing, and just flat on your mat. So when I'll start class, I sometimes like to say, and if you have a blanket, you may go ahead, and some people just cover their midsection, keeping heat here. Some people like to open it up just halfway even, and keeping heat within the core, right? Heart down. And then you've got individuals that really and truly want to open it up all the way, and they will cover feet. And sometimes they get all up under the covers and they rest. And this is a great way to bring heat, to keep heat into your body. And so you could start in Shavasana. I will sometimes tell people they could put a bolster or pillows up under their knees and allow their knees to be lifted, and that tilts your pelvic bone back into where you're flat back on the mat, shoulders are down. And then I'll just walk people through the intention. And then sometimes it's nice at the end of class to grab that blanket and put it over. Now, if you have sensitive knees and we're doing postures like child's pose, you're gonna have a blanket. And that blanket will be folded and it will be placed under your knees. So a blanket is very helpful to soften the impact on your knees. So if you're in child's pose, or let's say you're doing cat-cow, and cat-cow is where you're opening up your chest. And this is cow face. And then cat back is where you arch up. But as you can see, there's pressure on your knees. And even though it might not hurt for some, they can definitely feel it. So as you're moving through and you see that we're on our knees, slide that blanket underneath your knees and use that blanket. And I'll often say, if it's available for you to use, please use it, right? So those are just a few yoga props that I love to have available, even if I don't use it or if I don't call on it. Maybe when I say going into triangle pose, if you have a block, grab that block and use it. You'll find that there's more space, there's more grace when you can reach up and you feel that and you've got that block up under your hand. So know that that's available for you. Another thing about Christian yoga that I love is I have some women that have said to me they feel intimidated when they practice, or if they were to practice in a space that was public. They might not be comfortable in their own skin to practice in front of others. And so what I love about offering this online is you can do this in whatever outfit, whatever you feel comfortable in. If it's pajamas, it's pajamas, right? If it's fun, cozy sweatpants, if it's shorts, you know, this is your body, this is your space, and this is your practice. You can practice with your camera off, or you can practice with your camera on. If you're practicing with your camera on, and we're at a place where maybe you have a question about alignment, I can come over and I can look at the alignment of your body on the computer screen. So know that I can be there to help with assisting. There are going to be times where I'm going to have my children do postures and I'm going to teach proper alignment so that you can hear the cues and also see the demonstration with my children. So for example, Taylor Rain's here. Do you want to hop on camera real quick and I'll give an example? Okay, Taylor Rain is in her cozy pajamas, so no judgment, right? Space for grace. So for example, Taylor Rain, let's do a warrior one. So you've got, for example, we'll start here and then you'll bring your, actually, we'll just show you a sun A flow, okay? So fingertips overhead and fingertips touch at the top. Nice slight arch at the top of your back. Good. Now hinge at your hips and forward fold. Hands can separate. Yes, you may bend your knees if you wish, but you can keep them straight. It's your body, your practice. And then from forward fold, you're going to inhale and halfway lift. So your crown, no, flat back. So halfway lift, bring it, yes. So crown to tail is in alignment. She has a nice back, flat back. So nice mula bandha here. So yes, there. So crown is in, yes, beautiful job. And now hinge at your hips. Let's bring your hands to the mat. Yes, and come back, plank, step, walk, or float back. Yes, plank pose. Exactly. So shoulders are over wrist creases. Wrist creases are in line with the top of the mat. Nice alignment here. Now slowly go down to cobra, bending at your elbows. Yes. And with cobra, she's going to keep her lower back on the mat. Uncurl your toes. Yes. And then slowly press up. Yes. Excellent. So she's chest is open here. Excellent. Now you may slowly go back down. Yes. Nice. Now you're going to transition from cobra back to your knees. Tabletop posture. Yes. Curl toes under. Hinge at your hips and bring them all the way up. Yes. So now this is down dog. Down dog is where her Wrist creases are in line with the top of the mat. Ears are in line with biceps. Excellent. Yes. Shoulders are down your back. Heart is melted to the mat. Ribs are knit. Kidney space is puffed up to the heavens. Tailbone is lengthened to the back wall. And then this is a nice inner spiral of her thighs right here. Yes, nice inner spiral of the thighs. Excellent job. Now, from here, she's going to gaze at the top of the mat and bring right foot to right hand, and it replaces it. And she's going to bring herself up. Left foot plants on midline, 45-degree angle. So corner of the mat. Yep, foot is corner of the mat. No. Yes, so bring your toes in this angle, 45 degrees. Yes, excellent job. So hips are not square, but your shoulders are square. Excellent job. Now, we're going to bend at our knee. Yes, so knee is bent over her ankle. Excellent job. 45-degree angle, back of the leg. Shoulders are square with the top of the mat. Arms are up. Yes. So this is a strong warrior one posture. How do you feel? Do you feel strong?
Mm-hmm.
Excellent job. And we'll just finish off. We'll do warrior two. Open it. Knee is still bent. Gaze over this fingertip, the right fingertips. And then the beautiful thing about warrior two is she's opening up her chest. Shoulders are down at her back. Yes. Now you've got a 90-degree angle of the back foot, so it's in line with the back of the mat. Parallel. Excellent job. Now cartwheel down the mat. Pop up on the ball of this left foot. Yes, bring right foot back. Yes, we'll finish off with a chaturanga plank. Lower down to elbow creases. Inhale, up dog. Uncurl toes. Uncurl toes. Exhale, down dog. Lifting with your hips to the heavens. Excellent job. Gaze to the top of the mat. Step, walk, or float to the top. Yep. No, both feet, both feet.
Oh.
We're just going to finish it off. Yes, inhale, half lift. Crown to tail, lengthen. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise to mountain. Fingertips touch the top, like arch the back. Yes, exhale, hands to prayer at heart center. Yes. So that's a beautiful example of Sun A. Thank you, Teddy Bear.
Yeah.
Excellent job. So with that, as you can tell, there's a lot of body cues. What are they saying?
You did a beautiful job for me, daughter Brett.
Oh, yay, Teddy Bear. So yes, it is so much fun to do Christian yoga, and it's so much fun to invite the family in. It's a space of grace. Nothing about this is perfection. Nothing about this is striving. This is where you truly are one with the Holy Spirit, and there's such a space of connecting your faith with your movement, your body. There was a time when I was going through teacher training, and I thought, what is an intention of a practice? Well, I'll share with you. We have different intentions because, you know, there's something that I love to do when class begins. Even before class begins, I love to prepare for class, meaning that, you know, I'm really just creating that space for saying, God, what do you want out of this practice? What do you want out of this time with you for your daughters, for your sons? What would you like for that space to be? And he'll drop little nuggets into my spirit, and I'll go to the Word. So I use the Word of the Lord in all of my practices. And when we start class, I will go through scriptures and I will talk about the scripture and really allow you the opportunity to really unpack what it is for you. What is the Lord saying for you? And so I love to be able to walk through the Word and connect it with a yoga flow. And I write all of my flows in a little handy dandy notebook. But I love to be able to write down the starting of practice. For example, I'll write down things like, you know, I give a designated time for meditation and prayer where I'll open with the Word of the Lord and really allow us to dive into on your own meditation and prayer and stillness for what the Lord has for you in this practice. And really just kind of having a body check, right? Because before we move our body, it's helpful to have a body check of what is it that he's speaking to you. And then we'll have a warm up, because it's very good to take it from a place of meditation and prayer to warming it up and incorporating that into the movement of your body. And then from warm up, we have a working flow where we are truly in that moment of, really working through those postures and working through that alignment, getting our heart rate up to a working heart rate. And then, of course, we have cool down, and then we have a relaxation reflection time. So I've got all of that built in with the postures and how they flow through. So know that everything is planned and everything is intentional. My classes will, and the flows will usually be about, no less than 45 minutes. I feel like a good to be able to move through all of that. The minimum is 45, maximum I would say an hour. If we need to go a little bit over an hour, there's grace if you need to hop off early. And just know that the warm up and the cool down and the reflection really are just as important as that working flow. The other thing I will add before hopping into Q&A, oh, we've got one.
Jordan said, I'm so excited, and has the schedule been decided?
So that's a great question, Jordan. The schedule for me, after looking at the majority of individuals said morning, but honoring also those that said afternoon, I think what I'm looking at is Monday, Wednesday, Friday, having a consistent time in the morning and a consistent time also offered in the late afternoon, evening. If I can do 2 in a day, that's what I would love to do, is to be able to offer either 2 of the same or 2 different, but offering that. And then Tuesday and Thursday and Saturday, offering a different time in the morning than Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So offering a different time then and a different time in the afternoon, evening. So hopefully I can capture those people that are one of those days.
She said, awesome, thank you. When does this start?
I'd love to start tomorrow. How does that sound?
But, someone said, wow, thank you, Brooks. Yes, I'm game. And Jordan said perfect.
Perfect. Yes, I'd love to start tomorrow, which is why I want to do this tonight for anybody that wanted to catch this tonight. So yeah, so that is it in a nutshell. And yeah, any other questions? Nope, that's it. Okay. So hopefully that answered your questions. If you guys have questions, please drop them in the comments while we're still live, and hopefully we can get there. But it is my just great honor to be able to do this, with you guys, because this is just as much for me as it is for you guys, because I'm going to practice anyway, and it's that moment of I'd love to do it with my friends. Please invite anybody you'd like to this community. I'm going to take all the email addresses and put them in an email contact list so that I can also invite to Zoom. I do have it that we'll need to accept. So I'm going to open the Zoom link, open the Zoom class before Zoom will start, just like I would when I was practicing at a studio. We would open the doors 30 minutes before class. So I know I don't have to do it 30 minutes before, but I definitely want, my goal is at least 10 minutes before, so that you can get your props ready, you can get on your mat, you can get in a restful relaxation, and I can let you in the room. I'm also going to drop Spotify playlists in here before class, and I'll put those in the week's practice as well. What I have found is that it is easier for the participants if there is a Spotify playlist that they can control on a phone to play during class, and we all have the same Spotify playlist. And then that way it is clear for you. You'll hear my voice over the computer, and you can also hear the Spotify, your playlist that I'll share on your phone. And so there's no music interaction with Zoom and with YouTube. And so hopefully that will be helpful. So.
Someone said, looking forward to it, my friend. That's such a great idea. Thank you.
Perfect. Okay, well, you guys are such a blessing to me. I thank you so very much for the opportunity to do this. And I'm going to get that schedule out and the playlist shared for tomorrow. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And this will evolve and change and grow as the weeks continue. So know that the schedule for this week does not have to be the same schedule as next week. We'll take it on a moment by moment basis and allow space for things to be flexible. Yay!